I've been a locksmith for 11 years. Residential, mostly lockouts, rekeys, the occasional safe. In 11 years, I've been inside maybe 4,000 houses. I remember maybe 10 of them. This is about one of those 10. I'm not going to use their real name. I'll call them the Ferris family. That's not it. But everything else, I'm not changing anything else. It started with a phone call on a Tuesday in October. The woman on the phone was polite. Almost too polite, the kind of polite where you can tell someone's been rehearsing what they're going to say before they dial. She said her name was Carol. She said she needed her front door lock replaced. And could I come same day? I get same day requests all the time. People get robbed, people get divorced, people lose keys in a lake. I didn't think anything of it. Her house was out past the county line. One of those long gravel driveways where you lose cell signal about halfway down. Nice house, well kept. The kind of place where the grass gets cut on a schedule. Carol met me at the door before I'd even parked. She was already holding a check, filled out, just missing the amount. She said her husband would be home soon and she wanted it done before he got back. I asked if this was about a break-in. She said no. She said it real fast, too fast. I rekeyed the front door. Standard job, 20 minutes. She stood in the doorway the entire time, not talking, just watching the driveway behind me, like she was waiting for a car that wasn't hers. When I left, she paid in cash instead of the check. $40 over my quote. I didn't think about it again for 11 days. Second call came from the same number. Carol again. Same rushed politeness. This time it wasn't the front door, it was the door connecting the garage to the kitchen. She said the old lock didn't feel right anymore. I asked what that meant, and she said she'd rather just have it changed. I remember standing in that garage, noticing the deadbolt looked brand new, not old, not worn. New like it had been installed sometime in the last 2 weeks, which meant it was the lock I'd have known about. Except I hadn't put it in. Someone else had. I didn't say anything. Not my business whose locksmith she used before me. Third call 3 weeks after that. Back door this time. The one off the sunroom. Carol met me outside again. Same rushed energy, same $40 over quote in cash. No explanation. By the fourth call, I'd stopped asking questions out loud. But I started keeping a small notebook in my truck. Dates, which door, what she said. I told myself it was for invoicing purposes. It wasn't. Between the first and the sixth job, every single exterior access point on that house had been rekeyed. Front door, garage door, back door, basement bulkhead. Even a side gate that led into a fenced dog run, except they didn't have a dog. 6 locks, 6 calls, 2 months. I met the husband on the 5th visit. Big guy, quiet. The kind of quiet that isn't calm. The kind where you can tell he's choosing every word before he says it. He didn't shake my hand. He stood in the kitchen doorway with his arms crossed the entire time I worked on the bulkhead lock in the basement. At one point he said, not really to me, more to the room, "She thinks changing locks fixes something." I asked him what he meant. He looked at me for a long time before he answered. He said, "Ask her." I didn't ask her. You learn in this job which doors you don't open, the metaphorical kind, I mean. But I remember that basement. It was half finished, exposed insulation, a single bulb hanging from a cord. And there was a section of the poured concrete floor, maybe 6 feet by 4, that was a different color than the rest. Not new construction different, patch different. I've done enough work in enough basements to know what a patch job looks like when a pipe bursts and what it looks like when it isn't a pipe. I didn't ask about that either. The calls kept coming. Interior doors now. The one to the master bedroom. The one to what I assumed was a home office, except Carol wouldn't let me see inside it. She stood in the doorway, blocking the view, while I worked on the hardware from the hallway side. On what turned out to be my last visit, she asked me something that I still think about more than anything else that happened in that house. She asked, "Is there a lock you can put on a door that keeps something out, even if it's already inside?" I told her that's not how locks work. Locks keep things from getting in. Once something's already inside, the lock doesn't know the difference between it and you. She nodded, like she already knew that, like she'd asked, hoping I'd tell her something different. That was the last time I heard from that number. I called eventually, weeks later. Told myself it was a warranty follow-up. The number had been disconnected. I looked the address up once, out of a curiosity I'm not proud of. Property records still list the same owners. No news articles, no police reports I could find, no indication anything ever happened there at all. Maybe nothing did. Maybe Carol was dealing with something that had nothing to do with locks, and the locks were just the one thing she could control. But I think about that patch section of concrete more than I'd like to, and I think about what she asked me about something already being inside. Because here's the thing about locksmithing that most people don't think about. A lock doesn't keep a place safe. It just decides who gets to try the handle. I never went back. I don't take calls from that exchange anymore, on principle. If they call again, someone else can go.